All right, what's up, y'all? Good morning. Now let's go ahead and let's ask Gemini Storybook to create a let's do illustration storybook for adults for adults for the song "Knocking on Heaven's Door" by Bob Dylan. Let's see what it comes up with, and I'll read it along for you. I've created a gritty and reflective visual interpretation of Bob Dylan's "Knockin' on Heaven's Door" using retro Grand Theft Auto style artwork specifically tailored for an adult audience. The Long Black Cloud. All right, let's get into it. The Long Black Cloud. The city of Oak Haven was a labyrinth of neon glass and rain-slicked concrete. Garrett stood in the mouth of a narrow alley, the purple glow of a nearby liquor sign casting long, jagged shadows across his tired face. He leaned heavily against the damp brickwork, feeling the weight of a lifetime spent in the shadows of the skyscrapers. He reached up into his chest and felt the cold, sharp edges of the silver star. It had been his North Star for 30 years, but tonight the metal felt like lead. The city lights were blurring into a messy smear of orange and blue. It was getting dark, too dark to see the line he was supposed to be guarding. "Mama, take this badge off of me," Garrett whispered into the wind. "I can't use it anymore." He pulled the pin free, the small click sounding like a gunshot in the quiet alley. The authority it carried had vanished, leaving behind only a weary man in a city that had outgrown his brand of justice. He drove until the towering buildings became jagged teeth on the horizon, and the neon hum was replaced by the whistle of the desert wind. He pulled up to a small weathered house at the end of a dusty track. This was where the world ended and peace began. This was where Clara lived. The screen door creaked open and Clara stepped out onto the porch. The warm light from inside the house spilled over her, a soft amber contrast to the harsh, deep blue of the twilight. Garrett looked up at her, his silhouette tall and dark against the fading sun. He felt the pull of the porch, light like a moth. He climbed the steps and held out his hand. The silver badge lay in his palm, reflecting the amber glow of the house. "It's getting too dark to see," he said, his voice breaking. "I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door." Clara reached out, her fingers brushing his as she took the cold metal from him. Garrett turned back to the yard and began to unbuckle the heavy leather belt around his waist. The holster, heavy with the steel of his service weapon, felt like a shackle he was finally breaking. "Mama put my guns in the ground," he murmured. "I can't shoot them anymore." Clara watched him from the shadows of the porch, clutching the badge to her chest. She saw the way his shoulders slumped, the way the fight had finally been drained out of him. The guns lay in the dust at his feet, discarded and powerless in the face of the encroaching night. A long black cloud was descending from the mountains, thick and heavy like a velvet curtain. It swallowed the last of the orange light, bringing a silence so profound it made Garrett's ears ring. The transition was coming, a storm that had promised no rain, only the end of a long day. He turned back to Clara and the open door. The light from within was no longer just a lamp. It was a beckoning glow that promised a rest he had earned 1,000 times over. He reached for the handle, his knuckles rapping softly against the wood. He was knock, knock, knocking, and finally the door was wide open. All right, the story, I just finished reading it. Let's just take a quick look, see what you guys think. Look at all the pictures. So this wasn't really what I was expecting it to be, but I guess it's AI's version of it. Maybe I shouldn't have said adult version. All right, y'all. So there it is. Well, there it was, I should say. The Long Black Cloud, AI's Gemini storybook version of Knocking on Heaven's Door. It is raining, by the way, here in Southern Cali. But yeah, AI's version of Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. What you guys think about it? I hope people see. I hope people see this video and give their output on it. But yeah, so apparently it was about this sheriff, the policeman, whatever you want to call him, who was just tired of his duty. He was just tired of the years of service, and he gave his badge up. He put his guns on the ground. And that Lady Clara in the story, I don't know what she's supposed to be. I don't know if she's supposed to be his mom. Well, yeah, I'm assuming his mom, actually. And then he just, at the end, he gave up and he gave it all up and he entered the light. So that was pretty cool. That was an interesting take on it. I like this whole storybook. I like doing it on Bob Dylan's song. So if you guys like this video, I hope like it. If you don't like it, if I can do a better job of reading, blah, 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 just hopefully put in the comments. And I don't know, maybe I'll do this again. If you guys like, recommend another song and I'll do it. I'll do another storybook and we'll do this again soon. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Johnny Dylan out.